Hi, everyone. I am going to just briefly be going over some of the requirements for submitting your article to our workshop, or to our journal. So first off, here are the members of our leadership team. We have 2 editors-in-chief, 2 associate editors-in-chief, and 2 copy editors. And mine and Cheyenne's email and contact info will be at the last slide. And these slides will be sent to you guys as well. So starting off with some basic submission requirements for your actual articles. The margins must be 1 inch or 1 inch on all sides. The abstract must be single spaced. Text has to be double spaced. And it must be submitted as a Word document. So no Google Docs, anything like that. And you will have to get approval from your faculty mentor before you submit your article. And as for naming, it's going to have to be first submission and title. And then any future revisions should have a submission number. So 1, 2, 3, etc. And then for your references, you will need to follow the citation style of your specific discipline. So for example, if you're doing a psych paper, it's going to be APA. And please work with your faculty mentors if you're kind of unsure which formats you should use. And we've now revised the maximum length. Before, I think it used to be 12. We changed it to 20 just because we know that some of you may be in honors, and the capstone requirement is a lot longer than 12 pages, and so it might be hard for some of you to cut it down. So it's now 20 pages, including the figures, tables, illustrations, and citations and references. But this does not include the abstract or author information. So if those parts exceed 20 pages, then that should be fine. And then as for the paper format, these are some examples of how some sections should look like for the abstract, which is in the middle here, your introduction, table, figures, etc. And probably the most important thing on this page to note is that the spring deadline for your article submissions has been extended to April 15th at 5 p.m. Just so you guys can have more time to submit. So again, that's April 15th and highlighted in yellow here. And we are also looking for cover artwork submissions. So to go on the front of the published journal, anyone can submit. It doesn't, you don't have to be artsy or anything. The artwork can be about anything. And that will be submitted on the journal website as well. There's a separate button for cover artwork submission. And the deadline for that is also April 15th at 5 p.m. So this is what our website looks like. Like I said, there's 2 buttons. One is for the article submission, and one is for the cover design submission. So all you have to do is type in UGRJ, UCR, or Undergraduate Research Journal UCR, and this website should pop up. And as for the review process, so how it works is we have our editorial team, and your article will be assigned to 2 reviewers, a primary reviewer and a secondary reviewer. There will be 3 rounds. I mean, some people go through less rounds. It just depends on how many edits the reviewers think that your paper needs. So the first round, second round, and then third round is the final round. So as for scoring, this is kind of how the scoring form looks like. So after your article is reviewed, this scoring form will be sent to you with, it'll be all filled out and sent to you along with your actual article with edits and comments on it. So as you can see, the title, name of the review, well, you won't be saying the name of the reviewers, but in terms of the questions, is the question clearly articulated? Is this method defined? So and so, and you will receive comments. And so for the section breakdown, the abstract is going to be worth 15, article body is 50, references and citations will be 10, and overall consideration will be 25. So as you can see, the biggest chunk of what we will be reviewing is the body of the article, because that's worth the most points. So that's kind of what you want to be focusing your attention on. I mean, obviously the other parts are important too, but the article body is just the bulk of what we'll be looking at. And then this is the point system. So 5 is highly developed and perfect almost. And then 4 is needs only minor revisions, few inconsistencies. 3 is needs moderate revisions, occasionally vague or consistent. 2 is major revisions, confusing, misleading, inconsistent. And 1 is underdeveloped, very confusing, misleading, needs sweeping revisions or possible rewrite. And 0 is item in question is completely lacking from submission. So for the section questions, that these are kind of what the reviewers will be looking at when they look at your paper. So for the abstract, is the research question clearly articulated? Is the method defined? Do you make clear the results of the research? And then for references, do you have a sufficient list of references? Are they formatted correctly according to your discipline? And overall, spelling, grammar, in-text citations, do you convince them that the results are significant, and was the argument successful? And the article body, which has the most questions, do you clearly state the question and its significance, sufficient background information? Do you talk about why your research is important and different and why it's needed in your field? Do you explain all the materials and methods? Are the results explicitly stated? Do you make clear how the results relate to the original research question, implications, impacts, and do you relate the work to and suggest possible directions in the future? And so these are the 4 recommendations that the reviewers will give you after they review your paper, one of these 4. So either they will accept it if everything is perfect, even grammar and spelling. And typically, we don't receive any articles that are completely perfect. There will always be like little things that can be fixed. So second is accept pending minor revisions. That's if you have like small grammar mistakes and things like that to fix. And then there's revise and resubmit, which that means that major revisions are required. So several sections need to be rewritten and grammar or spelling needs significant improvement. So if you are in this category or the reject with possible resubmission, actually, no, I think just the revise and resubmit with major revisions category, if you are in this category, we require you to meet with a writing counselor at the ARC. And if you are emailed that you need to do major revisions, we will send you all the required like contact information and how to make an appointment with the writing counselor and things like that. So if you don't, if you either get accept or minor revisions or anything like that, you don't have to worry about the writing counselor, but I just thought I would mention that. And then notes on scoring. So your score will be out of 100, but it's kind of just like more a guide. It's not like there's no solid cutoff like, oh, this person has to be, oh, there's 69 out of 100 and not 70 out of 100. Oh, they can't be published. Like there's nothing like that. It's more focused on the content, and each paper is obviously going to be different. And grammar is a small consideration, but like proper grammar obviously will help you get a better score. And then due to COVID, we're pretty understanding with, you know, the types of research that we accept. We are aware that a lot of the research you guys or you all may be submitting might be like just based on like data like that you might already have in your lab, and that's completely fine. There's still plenty of ways for you to write and publish academic articles, even if you haven't really done like physical research on campus because of COVID. So you can do like a meta-analysis using previous data from your lab. You can work with a TA on their, project, or you can do remote work. So always make sure to consult your faculty member and ask if they have any projects you can work on, and write an article for. Although by this point, I'm pretty sure most of you considering submitting have already, started working on a project, but those are just the general guidelines that we mentioned for this. So yeah, that is basically the end of our presentation. I hope that was helpful. If you guys have any questions, you can contact me or Cheyenne. And if any of you need technical help, like with the website or anything like that, the UGRJ's email is listed as well. Again, thank you for watching this presentation, and I hope you all submit.